Good morning and welcome to Moody Coliseum for this special live edition of CatTrax. I'm MK Rotenberry and today is National Basketball Women's Media Day. And our first guest this morning is head coach Julie Goodenough. Coach, you're starting your fifth season as head coach here at ACU. You've turned the program around 180 degrees since you've gotten here. How have you made the team D1 ready?
When my staff and I got here, it seems like the time has really flown by. I can't believe this is our fifth year. But when we got here, honestly, we were not interested in learning Division II rules or, I was happy to coach the last season of the Lone Star, but we knew that we were brought in to build a Division I program, and so we tried to run it like a Division I program from the very first day that we were here 4 years ago. And our very first recruiting class was going to be the first ever Division I recruiting class for ACU, and so we knew that recruiting was very important. We had to find a class that would come in and establish a foundation for Division I. We had an excellent group of players that we inherited when we got here, and so that last year in the Lone Star was pretty magical. We were, picked to finish close to the bottom of the league. We were able to win the conference championship our last Lone Star season, and that really kind of propelled us into being excited about that D1 season and, what the future could hold. And so the very first recruiting class that we had, though, we felt like was going to be critical to jump-starting the Division I era, and we were really blessed with we felt like, kind of the Fab Five in that first class that we signed in the first November that our staff was here, and that included those that are seniors this season, and they've done a tremendous job coming in and writing the history books for the Division I era. They really set the pace for us, when they got here. And we've just been able to add some pieces throughout the years, recruiting-wise, to get to where we are right now. And a big part of our program, I think, was developing the culture. Obviously you've got to have the talent, but you've got to spend a lot of time on deciding what kind of culture you want. And we wanted a championship culture that would glorify Christ. And one of the most awesome things for me about coaching at Abilene Christian is I do get to coach at the highest level. I coach NCAA Division I, but I get to do that in a very intentional Christian atmosphere. And so within our program, our mission statement is godly women striving for excellence. And so, when you're able to strive for excellence to glorify God, you're working for a higher purpose than for you individually or even for your team success out on the court. And it's a fun culture, I think, to operate in, and one that we feel like our players have been able to thrive in.
And last season, you ended up winning conference for the first time since the D1 era, and then you got invited to the postseason as well. What was that experience like for you and the team?
It was a very rewarding experience. We'd set a goal back in June before the school year even started last year that, hey, we're going to win the Southland Conference Championship. And that was our best opportunity to go to postseason play, and we wanted to begin that establishing postseason play, and that we want that just to be the norm for our program. And so in June, we decided, hey, let's do this. Let's set our sights high on winning the conference. And we were kind of bitter when the preseason poll came out last year, and we were picked like 8th or something like that. And it was fuel for the fire, I think, for us just to, kind of prove ourselves, because within our locker room, we felt like we had a team that could contend with the perceived top teams in the league. And so it was a really fun season, just trying to establish ourselves and trying to reach the goals that we had set for ourselves. And it was an extremely difficult year. I mean, we had a lot of adversity, and our team really flourished through that. We learned how to work together as a team and come together through some hardships. And we had sick parents. We had injuries on our team. We had excruciating travel in non-conference as well as conference. And we were able to persevere through that. So it was a pretty magical season for us, both on and off the court. And to be able to culminate the work of the season with postseason play for the first time was a huge reward for us. We're excited about the WNIT. We had an awesome season on the court, playing in Moody. We had awesome crowds. We had a really fun watch party in the rec center. We had, our fans came out one evening just to see the WNIT bracket revealed. It was really exciting for our team, but also for all of our fans. And then, the opportunity to go play at UTEP, where their women's basketball tradition is so strong there. It was a really neat experience for us. We didn't come out on top in that game, but it gave us, I think, a perspective of what postseason play looks like, so that maybe we'll be a little better prepared for that when we have the opportunity again.
Mm-hmm. And you finished last season on a good note, and you're starting a new season just next week with an exhibition game versus McMurray. But you have 5 new faces. You have 4 freshmen and 1 transfer. What are you most excited about when you look at your new team this season?
Well, we, in order to stay on top, in order to accomplish our goals, we had to add some really good pieces to the puzzle. We lost our point guard and our starting point guard and our backup point guard to graduation last year with Whitney Swinford and Paris Webb. So in our recruiting, it was really important to bring in point guards who could start for us, point guards who could take over the reins of the senior leadership. And so Bree Wright and Pamela Herrera have come in those roles. And being the point guard is the hardest position on the team. It's our quarterback. And so we're going into the season with, 2 freshman quarterbacks. And they've done a tremendous job for us. With Division I basketball, we're able to bring our team in the summer. And so, to be quite honest, we've been preparing for Missouri since June. We even took a quick trip to Canada to play a couple of games, get a couple of games under our belt so that we might be better prepared for the big challenge that we have playing in the WNIT. And Dominique Golightly and Lexi Kurgan complete that class of freshmen. And Lexi brings a new element to our program. She's a true 6'4" post player, takes up a lot of space on offense and defense. She's done a tremendous job already posting up offensively. She's a good finisher inside. Dominique Golightly adds a skill set that rivals like a Renata Marquez or Alexis Mason. She can score in a lot of different ways from the perimeter. So we're really excited about what she's going to be able to do for us immediately as a freshman. And to round out those newcomers is Taudencia Alush from Kenya. She's coming by way of Tyler Junior College, and she we think will be a really strong player for us inside as well. Good rebounder, good shot blocker. So she really completes that class of newcomers.
Do you have any goals set for this team this season?
We do. Our goal really every day is to be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. We want to strive for excellence, and our definition for excellence is to try to be better today than we were yesterday. And so as a program, we want to be better this season than we were last season. And that's a big, I think a big mark on the wall for us to shoot for. But as we're striving for excellence, not for ourselves, but for Christ, we feel like that's what we're called to do, is try to be better this year than we were last year.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning with us, Coach Goodenough.